Hey, what's up? Good morning. It's a boy who is not a boy, and intro man. Yeah. Fuck. Let me just do it. Venye da ifanya. So hey, what's up, man? It's a boy who is not a boy. Nyatikodoro, man. Welcome back to On the Edge podcast. I'm your host. I had already said my name. I like repeating myself. My brain in a fire, son. Whatever, man. Welcome back. So if you've been with me on the first episode, you already know what this space is all about. Sindio, I don't have to do an intro, man. I'm not good at that. I'm really not good at that. If you know me, you know me. You're driving. Fuck. Isifai kuandika script. Hii kitu tunafanya tu na kichwa. So I want to dive deep into things that I used to shy away from, and it's something maybe you also shy away from, I don't know, but to learn about it, a little bit about it last week. And it's a failure. Yeah, I was talk about failure, and failure, kavenye unaitambua, I don't know how you define it. I feel like we define failure differently, each and every individual. Kizungu. Each and every individual define failure differently. Put this thing vizuri. I'm setting up my manze. I don't have like a proper equipment, so I'm just hacking things. So where am I? We were talking about failure. Kwanza, what is failure? There was this person who once said, if you know Samuel Beckett, if you're a nerd, kama mtu upenda kusoma, I don't know, man. There's this nigga and alikuanga like a playwright. Alisemanga, ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail again, motherfucker, fail better. Akusema motherfucker, but alisema fail better. So the phrase comes from his 1983 short prose. If you know what a prose is, the westward ho. I've never read the book. I just did a research on something to do with failure. I just needed a smart quote, I know nothing. So today I'm going to ask myself 17 questions on failure. Nanda kwa nikizi answer. Is it failure? Is it questions? It's not like I've sat down and thought about them. Just like an afterthought. Ni afterthought imekuja ni when I was recording this podcast. Yani hii podcast actually nimeanza tu kurecord leo ni 7th of January. Actually, happy new year, man. And welcome to my podcast, Nito On the Edge. Hope you're doing fine, man. So to talk about failure. Kwanza, what is failure? What is failure? Tutaangalia the definition of failure. Failure, the condition or fact of not achieving the desired end or ends. One that fails, you are a failure. Okay, that's a noun. Oh, failure is a noun. Okay. Failure. Man, isn't my English, man. It's another man's language, man. So one that fails, and then the condition or fact of being insufficient or failing short. So in your life, you might be in a relationship, you might be in some kind of crisis with a religion. You might be having problem with your friend. You might be having yani tu watu kuna mashida. I don't know if kama ni shida ama ni nini. But everyone in any circumstances or any situation, kuna venye una define failure. A relationship not working might be a failure. And you're not getting your project done, inaweza kuwa a failure. Missing a deadline is a failure. But I want to talk about failure from a perspective of an artist. Mimi kama msanii ama from an like ule msemenye unadu you're on your path, but pia ule msemenye if you're not in your path you can define failure in a different way pia. Juu hapo failure itakuwa you're falling short of someone else needs, kama uko kwa corporate nini. But I'm not here to talk with the corporate people. But if you're a corporate and you're listening to this, manze, yeah, you're welcomed, manze. I'm not against anybody. I welcome everyone, but I respect individual who think for themselves. Individual who make them decisions about their life on their own and they don't cry about it. You must realize the decisions that is you make about my life na nika fail at them zimekonga tu ni mimi tu ni vitu tu zenye mimi nijieka tuna get na nime learn from them kinda. Yeah, very terrible. I normally have nime learn lessons the hard way, like life. Yeah, so that makes most of us want to hide under the covers or pretend it didn't happen. Ni failures, ndio. Already we've talked about that. So me realize ni kitu necessary in our path or in a path yote tu yenye uko man. Ukifail, it's like an indicator man. See to kwa creativity, see to kwa life. At spiritually, people fail. You fail short of things. When you say my definition of failing short or not meeting a deadline or not whatever means. So where you grab a seat, get comfortable and let's talk about this. Realize nikaandika script ni kusoma inanisumbua sana. I'm growing old. So napiga tu ma freestyle nikibonganga. So my first question is, I was asked myself 17 questions zenye ziko on the topic failure. So can you think of a specific moment in your life where you felt like you failed and how did it impact you? You fail in life. Ile moment yenye sikuwa na job. I didn't have a job. Nime drop out shule. Siendi shule saizo and bado na stay na lemse na muita grandpa. And this nigga is an hustler. I wasn't staying with the grandpa still. Nilikuwa na stay na ankangu fulani. And then something happened around that time. Yani hapo nile moment yenye tu everything just came like ilikuwa a moment of clarity. Nilijua tu man, I failed life. Yenye nilikuja like you have to accept it. Nili fail at life, nili accept. Wanasomanga kuna tu zile moment now unaka chini una accept. You have to accept, then you move on. Because I was trying to juggle all these shits and I singeweza kuzijuggle zote. Just realized along the way pia I kinda like failed in my relationship man. Sikuwa msee that who communicates. I was just fucked up, man. I was dealing with a lot of shit. Nikiangalia back, fuck, that was like a dark moment, yeah. But hiyo moment ilikuwa like a moment of clarity yenye nilikuja tu ku accept, man, this is me and I've failed at this, so I just have to figure another way out of this mess, man. Juu in life anasema as much as you live it, kuna two moments zenye you have to now accept the reality, accept vitu venye ziko, and then no move on. And so no moment yenye nilikuwa tu ni have to accept shit venye ziko. When I get you back then yenye pia when I normally get back to my notes, nakuwa naka notebook fulani. Some of the friends wenye wame pick into my notebooks, we've seen kama umaisoma any of the things that I write. Ni wenye at some moment nilirudi zikakuwa, now I became compassionate. That unasemanga self compassion. I didn't have that. Nasema I had to do a lot of shadow work, you know. So that really impacted me, man. Ikajua what I needed to do, like ili nipatia campus ingine genje, unajua ile kitu genje. Yeah, so that moment nikumbukanga nikirudingi back. Actually, that was when on the edge actually nakuanga an idea for a film, an idea for a comic, like as a comic about this character. And I would say that maybe that's like an alter ego in whatever you do, whatever art form that you do. Say art is something very, fuck, man. If you do art, artist, man, I respect every artist. It's in a way, it's like showing your vulnerability. Hey, what me sumbua. But whatever, man. So kuna venye, yani through my artwork, I came to discover through the art that I do, through the sketching, through the things that I write, through hizo vitu zote, I came to discover who I am, you know. Actually, I discovered who I was not. Yeah. And then I had to look for who I am. Yeah, that will be the point. I discover who I am not, because I was trying to be someone who I am not. So, and I failed at it. So I had to be someone who I am meant to be. When I get, yeah. Question ya pili, how do you define failure, both personally and professionally? Personally, how I define it right now is failure is like a stepping stone, not like a step. Okay, ni stepping stone na pia ni a learning curve. Ile moment yenye unafaa ukifail, ile moment yenye it's like a moment of clarity. Mimi na moment of clarity. Sasa imekuwa tu everything is moment of clarity. Yeah, but it's a learning curve. Unajua nikisemanga like life ni wave, man. You just have to ride on it. So zingine itakupeleka chini, itakupeleka juu. You never know where it takes you, but you just have to ride on it, you know. And back then, I was riding on this wave of life. Sometimes I was fighting the wave. I will say that. Yeah, niko naishi life fighting the wave, instead of just going with the wave, letting the wave flow. Manze, does this guy know I'm recording a podcast? Someone called me, so you're calling me. What was I talking about? Gitonga called while I was in the middle of recording a podcast. Gitonga, if you listen to this podcast, you interrupted me. You interrupted my flow of thought. Yeah, but I'm gonna say manga. Back then I was fighting the wave. But square life, man, you don't fight the wave. Like I'll say, like men hatujafunzwa vifiti. I don't know if I think like 200 years ago in our culture kuna venye men were being taught zile stories how tulisoma hizi vitu kwa vitabu ni venye. Okay, I will say right now there are people who are doing that. If you're doing that, that's cool, man, but pia you as an individual, you have to take time to do some shadow work on your own, you know, because hey man, kijana mwanaume, you really need to know yourself, man, because I will say from my perspective you have to fight for yourself. Your life ni kufight for yourself, and I get, yeah, which is true, you have to fight for yourself, but kuna venye there's a way that this fight is fought na ukijua inakufanya it makes it easier yani. So personally, failure for me ni kitu ya kulandu, ni ile moment ya kujua fuck you don't know shit. And professionally na nimefailingi tu professionally juu okay vitu nilikuwa na do profession kama video creation ama photography. I'll say jumi sijaenda shule. I'm not someone who has gone to school kusoma hizi vitu, ni video tu nimelan kimimi, ama mimi ni mtu wa University of YouTube. I'm a graduate. Actually nafani watu wanafaa kunipatia ki gown. I should make a YouTube gown na ni with our fellow YouTubers, YouTube learners. So YouTube na penye nimelearning tu yani. So professionally I'll say silikuwa na skill, but nile to the knowing, but najua kuoperate camera, juu I make film, ilikuwa na try, yeah. So najua kupiga picha manze, you know, composition, vitu katu hizo like hizi vitu ni pia tu some are innate, vitu zenye pia tunasema ni inborn tu. I don't know, juu nikuja kurealize budangu I had a conversation with my dad. Akaniambia kujanga huku Nairobi, and they were trying to, okay, he and some of his friends, niseme tu kama venye niko na some of my friends right now, pia alikuwa na best wake back then, and kwa sakao yeye alikuwa anataka kuanga like a writer. He had some thesis, I don't know if it's a thesis or some writing too, that he was writing. It's like a philosophy, I don't know, whatever, man, but ni kitu yenye fuck, man. The video story was like, man, ilikuwa tu yani, I'm like shit, yani history is just repeating itself. So yeah, he was trying to, you know, back then, man, my 80s, I think ilikuwa 80s sasa juu my age, yeah, ilikuwa around 80s huko. So I was just trying out to be a writer, man. I was trying out to reach these news houses ama to some media tu zenye wanaweza some publishing houses back then. Now there was no, hakukuwa na chance. I don't know, I didn't understand that story. Lazima niende ni dig your story. I love to give you that story. And something that I have to do also while I'm still alive, and when he's still alive, I have to do a podcast with my dad, man. I have to record that shit. So professionally, mimi nimefail terribly now, but I don't consider it like excuse me sana, man. Ni vitu like failing has taught me to let go of some things. Juu failure ni kama kujua tu hii kitu is not for me, ama hii kitu ni for you. Nile tu kujiuliza hii kitu nimefail at it, is this something that is for me? Juu naweza kuwa na fail on something each and every fucking time, na kumbe it's not for you. Some people who fail at something for several times, and they get it juni yao, so they fail and they get better at it. But kuna mtu wenye you're failing on something and don't get better at it, acha tu your shit man, jisumbue. Kwa swali ya tatu na time imeshaenda hivi. When you fail at something, what's the first emotion that hits you? I think ni shame. Shame is like a word man, you get the point. VUL. Niko na pesa mingi, I'll employ someone like Diamond anifunze English, kuongea tu English vizuri. I have some problem. Someone niko na. Okay, I'm now distracted. When you fail at something, what's the first emotion? Shame, but do not feel like, man, I had much confidence in doing this shit. Why is it not working now? So if it's something that you did na ulikuwa umeambia the public, failing in public can be very shameful. Most of ulikuwa very egotistic about it. But you know, you have to accept the shit man, kama umefail. So fail is pia ina depend na zile vitu zenye umeweka. Sometimes umeweka naza jeke deadline yenye maybe I work no get, so you be realistic about some shit. And then I'll talk about something to do with the guy. I'll have an episode about that siku moja to one of these days, tuongele on that thing. So do you feel like failure is, this is question 4, do you feel like failure is an inevitable part of the creative process? Why or why not? Do you feel like failure is an inevitable part of the creative process? Why or why not? Yeah, I think that's an inevitable part of what? You'll cut that part, Mr. Editor. Cut that shit. You feel like failure is an inevitable part of the creative process? Yeah, man. For me, I feel like failing at something makes me think outside the box, because nikifail ndakuwa like, how else can I do this shit? How else do I achieve? Whatever you're doing, lazima kama umejiwekea deadline, you not meeting the deadline, lazima utakuwa analyze, ni nini nilifanya siku hiti deadline. You look back at it, and then you learn from the mistakes that you did, yenye ilikafanya au commit your deadline, or ikafanya relationship yako haiko wako, or ikafanya uli lose job, or ikafanya whatever thing that you failed at. So failure is just an indicator of you getting better at something. Bro, get better at it or leave it. Kwanza imwakazi ni is letting things go. Want to let this thing go. Don't be disturbing me. So, question ya 5, how do you typically respond to failure in the moment? Do you get discouraged or do you look for the lesson? Sometimes I do get, wacha kwanza najua, I'll be talking about my old self and my now self. My old self, alikuwa tu discouraged. Nilikuwa na changa tu na abandon hiyo share, like, let me go do another thing, because niko na talent mingi, wacha ni do another thing. But realize that ni failure, like ukiangalia. Actually, I will say nilikuwa na do two vitu. I was the guy who do a lot of things when I get, but vitu too creative too mingi too. And I try things, man, and I fail at them, and I know I'm good at this, I'm good at that, and it helps me know who I am truly, because I think easy process zote zenye, easy feelings zote zenye zinafanyika kwa life ni zina lead to a better you. You know, the more you fail, the more you learn. Wanasema you fail faster, learn faster. Yeah, I don't know if that's the term, but when also on my quote. I'm not your quote guy. What's one of the, what do you look for? Okay, ilikuwa, how do you typically respond to failure in the moment? Saizi nikifail right now I analyze, mbona hiki kitu work. Like right now I have kuna podcast yenye we are doing Serious for the Clan. Kuna venye you see some shit, ukiangalia unaona kuna vitu zenye hazi work na inafanya I fail, so I realized back then it wasn't working. So I was doing another thing that wasn't something that was something that was not me. Nilikuwa najifanya ndo nipate pesa. So corporate is really killing our souls, man. Unless it's your calling. But I don't think calling us in to make money. I think we are meant to make money and help people, not just make money and accumulate it for no reason. People don't enjoy life. But that's just me, man. Take it or leave it. What's one of the biggest failures in your creative journey, and what did it teach you? Biggest failure in my creative journey. Biggest failure in my creative journey. And what did it teach you? Fuck. Okay. Biggest failure ilikuwa realizing that I'm not good at everything, and I just have to narrow down at one thing. That's the things that I enjoy doing, and the things that I can do whether I fail at them or not. So things that I'm ready to fail at and learn. And so biggest failure, man, ni acceptance. Actually just accepting and moving and letting it go. I'll say that once we learn to kwa failure ni collaboration. I feel like collaboration is very important, and then having a deadline and having systems is like having a system in my creative journey, like having systems zenye zinafanya ni work. I think having a system really helps you, because everything is a system in this world, and you as a human being kuna point when you figure you need to have a system around how you do your things. So ndo zikuwe unawake up to na tuna vitu venye zinaenda juu your brain. If you are suffering from something, if you are on a spectrum where your head doesn't focus on one thing, then you are on a kama una system, then you'll fail terribly. You'll fail, so you'll be failing. I think pia hata kama unafanya kitu yenye unapenda, you have to have some system yenye inakufanya you work towards that system. Na pia after, like kama ni project na uko make a deadline, nilikuwa nimesema kitu earlier, ni kuwa na deadline. Within that deadline, kama hujamaliza hiyo kazi, you do an analysis. So unaangalia nyuma, unaangalia nini imefanyika. Okay, nini nimefanya niko hapa? Mbona sijamaliza hii shit? Mbona sijamaliza assignment? Mbona sijamaliza kuedit video? Mbona sijamaliza kazi ya client? Mbona sijapeleka udem out na ilikuwa nipeleke out on Monday? So you need to analyze that. Ndo sasa ujue, okay, sikumpeleka date on Monday juu ya ina hii. Mbona hii na hii nafanya nisimpeleke? Was it something worthy ama nini? But why I'm talking about a date? Actually, fuck. What? Najianika, but ni sawa. So I was talking about failure. So ili teach tu having a system manze, na kukuwa tu na I've been journaling. Imenisaidia sana, inanifanya kujua vitu juu having a brain that I have, which I know most of you have if you're listening to this podcast. It's good to have a system, man. Has there been a time? How do you differentiate between failure and learning experience? A learning experience. Okay, failure is pointing it, but I'm going back to letting go and I know when I fail at something. When I failed, how do I differentiate between failure and learning? How do you differentiate between failure and a learning experience? What? Hiyo ni swali kali. Swali ni tamu. Shit. How do you differentiate? Okay, how I differentiate failure from a learning experience ni how it, okay, kuna mindset shift. It may be neither, I'm looking from it in perspective ya maybe an outcome, or I'm looking at it from a perspective of an emotion. So ikinikujia kama ni outcome, I can measure it in an outcome. Inaweza kuwa an outcome but emotionally itani affect. I'm sensitive man. So then when actually when we realize ni the standards zenye unaziwekea, pia targets zenye unaziwekea, vitu zenye unajiwekea lazima ziko realistic. Ukiweka vitu zenye si realistic utakuwa unajichosha tu bure. Hii life hufai kujichosha, but hii life unafaa tu kuenjoy man. Enjoy every moment man. Enjoy every fucking moment. You learn man. Learn from every shit. You fail at it. Nini kuliendaje? Yesterday I was watching an episode inaitwa the multi relaxation whatever man. I'm not talking about the episode. That's episode. Do you watch Rick and Morty? You guy, my guy. Has there been a time when failure led to an unexpected breakthrough in your work or life? Failure led to an unexpected breakthrough in your work or life. Hey, I don't think. Yeah, but I think it's made two small breakthrough. I wouldn't say big. Sinanga big breakthrough. Na kama small. Zenye nikiwa aware. Or sometimes I'm not even aware. But I will say failing imefanya tu ni realize to life. Ni see life in a different way, man. And life ni kutu letting things go. Life, like I think life from the time you're born, you learn to let things go. I think nitakuwa from nikiwa mdogo when I give birth to a kid, yeah man, I have to have a kid. My ancestors are saying I have to put someone to continue the nini. So whoever will have my kid, that kid will just have to learn how to let things go from the time he or they will be born. Me, I don't know man, life happens. But at a learn to, I'm not putting anything on a kid man. Jua tu life kia man, hii maisha tumejua tu kisisi. Okay, number 9, do you think life is something to be feared or life? Do you think failure is something to be feared or should it be embraced? Man, unavyo agingi demu wako, kani demu wako ule mreal, even unafaa embrace failure. Like, yo, come here. I'm really sorry I did that. But what is it to be learned here? What are the lessons to be learned here? Hizo ndio tunafaa kujiuliza. Hivyo nakuanga hivyo, like life imekuchapa uko tu like man, what is it to be learned here? But man, I don't know, kuna times zingine zenye unaweza kujiulize if you want to learn something, but whatever, just live. What's the hardest part of failing? Dealing with the disappointment, others' expectation, or something else? The hardest part of failing, I think everything tu inakuanga tu ni ego. But I've realized to not take it to, like, easy bit, we don't take it to your heart. wanasemangaje, whatever man, hizi vitu ni life too, life happens. I get disappointed man, I'll say shit, but when disappointed man, I'll say fuck man, I get angry. I'm a human being man, I have emotions. I get angry, I get disappointed, but Kenya and something that yenye siwezi jifanya ni ku satisfy another person's ego. Man, I can only deal with my ego. I don't have time to deal with another person's ego, and that's something yenyewe. So, and other people's ego ni expectation tu za mse kwako, you know. You should have your own expectations, but pia na pia you are expected. I think you get the point, right? As if I could exceed what you can do is a word. Is my English, man. I told you. How do you find the courage to keep going after big failure? Mi bora tumepiga ngwai. Everything is fine. Najua tu life itakuwa sawa kesho. Back then I could be thinking about, like I will say, lakini like asemanga nimegrow yani. And so it's something that na appreciating. But wanasemanga you will only know that you healed until urudi hoja, maybe urudi ushago kwako ama you be with your siblings. Kama healing takes place when you're alone, but you'll only know you're healed until you come back home to the trauma. So lazima ni zuku hivi ndo tulihepa haikukaliki. So let's see if we are really healed ama tunabonga tu I'm healed. I'm healed. You man, wacha nyamaze man. Sometimes nakonga okay, let me say something about myself. Something that I've noticed about myself. Sometimes I can talk about something or some things don't hurt me, but when something hurts me, I'm like fuck, kumbe even wanna feel. Like self-awareness is fucked up. Human beings are fucked up. Our species are just, I don't know man, being self-awareness. Can you recall a moment where failure pushed you to refine your approach to your craft or life? Indeed, I've been talking about that. Man, now not to life different. Like it makes you think outside the box. It makes you start doing things differently. Now, me, I'm starting to do things differently. Not how I used to do them, man. I can't be doing the same shit every fucking day the same way. Unless when machine. I don't know what the machine is to be to say. Question 13. Question 11. How do you find the courage to keep going after big failure? Nishasoma. Do you think failure has become an essential part of personal growth for you, and why? Man, failure inani groom too. Failure is grooming me. Nikifail tu watu vitu. School says I'm jobless. Sina job. I'm employed. I'm self-employed. I've employed myself. Even sasa my company is still not making money, so it means I'm working for free. My company will start to make money for me because my company, I don't know man, ni Mungu tu. But we gotta make this mula. So failure inafanya tu ni see life differently, and I start to do things be different. It really push me, and inafanya nijue limits zangu, inazifanya nijue hasira yangu inafika wapi. Juu pia wanasemanga your siblings know you, ndo ile sasa it's not until you get back home do you if you're truly healed. Like it normally brings you back. Trauma kama you're getting back to your traumas now. So how are you dealing with them? kuna venye ukizideal unaweza, you can deal with them in the form of projection. I don't know if you get what I'm talking about, but you get the point. Man, naweza kuwa nabonga tu vitu zingine nikidhani anasema shit, kumbe just yapping. How has failure, question 13, the 13th hour. Can you recall a moment when failure pushed you to redefine your approach to kwani najirudia aje? Okay, I'd already said that. How has failure shaped your relationship with perfectionism, if at all? If you know me, if you've seen my art or if you've seen my work, I'm very sketchy. And if you see my past work, I was trying to be perfect. Na hiyo ni kudu portrait. It's not like those people are not perfect. Mimi spend kuchora vitu zinakaa sijui. I'm good with portraits. It's like I like the raw. You can raw. It depend. So I'm not a perfectionist, man. I don't seek perfectionism, man. Me life yangu ni venye iko hivyo. The way you see it, that's how you see it, man. Ndani hadi nje. So kina nimekasirika, jua tu nimekasirika. Kina niko nacheka, jua tu I'm happy. Kina nimejam, jua tu nimejam. Okay. Question 15. How do you separate your self-worth from your failures? Amanze, I don't attach myself to V2. Actually, nile sasa no attachment. Hiyo ni kitu actually nilifuzwanga tu. I saw it from my dad. That nigga is not attached to anyone. So, mimi nikasemanga man, attachment ni kitu ya ufala. Mwachanga tu vitu. I'm not attached to things. Na kama you are my ex, and you're listening to this podcast, of which I know I shared it with you, I'm trying to do my shadow work. Okay, that's random. Why would I say that? Why is my brain too zinabonga? Actually, this is just question 16. What would you say to someone who feels paralyzed by the fear of failure, especially in their creative work? Bro, failure, utafail. Mimi nasemanga penye nilikuwa na work, nilifail juu ya hiyo ni kitu sikuwa naweza, nilikuwa najeka hapo naweza but siwezi. Okay, if you know, I was a social media and a content creator. And realize that's what I still do even now in the context of now kukua kwa office ya mtu. Being in someone's office ni kitu ngumu. Kama ni mtu hii generation, man. And you have your, like, saizi mabeshte wangu zote, all the friends that I have right now, mabeshte nilipata nao huku Nairobi. Kana mabeshte nilipata nao huku Nairobi. Kila mtu ni kama kuna kampuni. And I'm saying like in 5 years or 10 years, hizo kampuni zitakuwa zina run because those people have dreams, man, and I'm praying that the dreams are going to come true. Without my prayers, the dreams are going to come true. Those people are putting in work, man. So put work, manze. Jua that failure is a learning curve. Just be in the moment. Always be in the moment, man. As much as you plan ahead, always be in the moment. Being in the moment makes you have that moment of clarity. Did I speak about that? Say hallelujah. Sanataka sadaka, especially in the creative work. I talked about that. Looking back, if you could change how you responded to one of your past failures, would you? Why or why not? Manze, nilifail. Actually kuna venye nilikuwa naona failure ni kama back then I used to, naonekana nimefilisha wasa walichukua time yako nipeleka shule, but ni kitu yenye sikuwa nadai pia, so I was putting so much pressure on myself, get. So if you're listening to this and you ever contributed to my life in any way, I used to think that I failed you, but right now, man, I don't think that I've failed you. I was trying to find myself, and the nigga has found himself. And when you find yourself, we kwama naye mnakwama mzingwa nimefinya pause, karibuni finye stop, karibuni finye cut. So man, I don't think I will change anything, man, and I don't want to go back. So man, I'm not a person to go back, and I really appreciate everyone who took the time to listen to this podcast, to just listen to me ranting and just talking. I don't rant. I didn't rant today. So I don't know. Should I talk about spirituality? No. What I can say is that my takeaway from all this is that failure should never be a reflection of your worth. Isikue usiweke failure as a reflection of your worth. You are better than that. You are the God, the creator, the great creator. So failure it's not the end of the road, man. Ni part of the process, a way for you to grow, to adapt, and to get better in creativity, in life, and in your personal and spiritual growth. Failure, manze, is essential. It teaches you lessons that success can't. If you've been avoiding something because you're afraid to fail, I want you to ask yourself, what's one step you can take this week to fail forward? Ni step gani unataka kuchukua hii wiki, man, ndo fail forward, because failing forward is picking from your failures and learning from them and now doing better forward. Whatever, kama umeelewa. So you're not alone in this, and next time you hit that bump in the road, I want you to remember failure is just an opportunity in disguise. All right, that's it for today. If you're vibing with this, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe so we can share, so we can keep pushing the boundaries of thinking for ourselves. Till next time, keep failing, keep growing. Hey. And you guy, my guy, always remember to think for yourself, because if someone thinks for you, bro, think for yourself. Peace.